Yeah, I warmed you up. That's good. That's good. Okay. I'd like to call the order. Let's see. Let me get a closed session. We're already done with that one. Good evening, and it's 6:33 p.m., Monday, the 20th. Welcome again to tonight's meeting. I want to remind everyone that per the city's rules for decorum, speakers, members of the audience, and council members are to conduct themselves with decorum and not engage in conduct that interrupts the orderly conduct of the city council meeting. Also, public comment through Zoom may be accepted for the agenda items listed within the consent calendar, public hearing and other matters sections of the agenda. Public comments will be accepted at the meeting by those physically in attendance at the appropriate time in accordance with the Brown Act. Tonight, we are very pleased to have Boy Scout First Class Dominic Trejo from Troop 411, who will conduct the Pledge of Allegiance for us tonight. Mr. Trejo, if you please. Yeah.
All those who are veterans and in uniform, please render a salute. All those not in uniform, place your right hands over your heart. Ready? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You could stay there for a second. You want to go down? Come on, guys. Yeah, welcome to Target City. Thank you. Thank you again for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. As we know, many of us, I know that Mr. Crosby was at how many Eagle Scouts? 4 or 5? Yeah. So we've had a lot of, number of us have been to the Eagle Scout presentations, and it's been an amazing thing. And so we really do appreciate the Scouts and what they do, and also their leaders, what they do, and make sure these young boys turn into men. So I really appreciate that, and women. Yes. As it is now, Scouts of America, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? It's changing. So anyway, with that, the City of Laverne Certificate of Recognition presented to Dominic Trejo. The certificate is presented on behalf of the Laverne City Council to Boy Scout First Class Dominic Trejo with sincere gratitude and appreciation for your service. Best wishes are extended on your continued success. Thank you. Mr. Domer, roll call, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilmember Crosby.
Here.
Councilmember Kashvagita.
Here.
Councilmember Lau.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Johnson.
Present.
Mayor Hepburn.
Present.
All present, sir.
Thank you. Tonight we have several presentations. The first at Tuamotu Middle School, honored as a 2024 California Distinguished School for Academic Excellence by the California Department of Education, celebrating its exceptional academic performance and efforts to foster a supportive and welcoming learning environment. Ramona Middle School achieved remarkable academic growth on state assessments in 2023, earning a 10.5-point increase from its 2022 indicators in English language arts, ELA, and a 9.1-point increase in math, placing above the 15th percentile of all middle intermediate schools in the state for both subjects. This evening, we will honor administrators and teachers from Ramona Middle School, along with the representatives from the Bonita Unified School District. Will the teachers, administrators, and BUSD representatives please come forward, along with Superintendent Matt Ween.
Thank you. I'm Superintendent Matt Ween, and I want to thank the council who's still congratulating us back here. I want to thank the council for recognizing Ramona tonight. Ramona has been a great middle school for many years. And we know when we get an accomplishment like this, it's not done in isolation, it's done with community support. City of Laverne and the city council has been wildly supportive of our schools, and we're very appreciative of that. I'm going to introduce our principal of Ramona Middle School, Jamie Ellis, to say a few words.
Thank you very much for recognizing us tonight. I do want to pay tribute to the people standing behind me. This staff behind me is why we won that award. The teachers work hard every single day to help the youth of Laverne to be the best that they can be. And so we can't celebrate the teachers enough, but we also want to take the time to acknowledge the community and the students that actually put in the work on those tests. They are the ones in the chairs taking those tests. So we know that our school wouldn't be what it is without the community's support. So we want to thank you for that as well. But congratulations to these people behind me, and congratulations to the students of Laverne. It's great.
Thank you. City of Laverne certificate of recognition presented at 2024 California Distinguished School, Ramona Middle School. This certificate is presented on behalf of the Laverne City Council in recognition of Ramona Middle School being identified as a 2024 California Distinguished School for its remarkable academic growth and state assessment achievements in 2023. Best wishes are extended for the school's continued success and prosperity. You guys do an amazing job. Thank you very much. Thank you. The boss tells us, okay, call in front, less calls back.
Supposed to lay down.
Corey. You guys are amazing because I had 3 children go through Ramona. That's the white hair I have. That's not because the kids went through Ramona. Well, yeah, you could be my child. Yeah. I have a daughter and 2 sons, 2 attorneys and also a teacher. And you know what? The reason is this: because of all of our Bonita Unified School District, the success of our families and our children to become adults and contributing to our society in a great way. So you guys are amazing. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Matt. Thank you guys very much.
There you go.
Product of Verne. Okay, our next presentation is the 2024 Bonita High Boys Swim and Dive Team. The Bonita High School Boys Swim and Dive Team finished the season having qualified 6 swimmers and 2 divers for CIF. Both divers, Logan Atkinson and Maverick Maths, placed first and second at CIF finals. 4 swimmers, Max DeStasso, Jake Carlson, Trevor Nill, and Jackson Dinson, qualified for individual events at the CIF Southern Division D3 prelims, along with qualifying in all 3 relays. 3 swimmers made it back to the finals for their individual events: Jake Carlson, Max DeSasso, and Trevor No. And 1 swimmer, Jackson Dinson, made it back as an alternate. All 3 relays also made it back to the finals. With the accumulative points scored at finals for both swim and dive, boys program won its first CIF swim and dive title in school history. That's worth a round of applause. Congratulations. During the prelims and final sessions, the boys team also broke 2 individual school records. Max Distasso, 50 free, and Trevor, 100 butterfly. Those are not easy to do. Congratulations. That's amazing. And all 3 relay school records. Again, congratulations, guys. That's amazing. The team was coached by Dylan Unsold and assisted by Cody Lahotsky and Gage Unsold. The team, I'm going to call you guys up. I'm going to have you stay there, and your coach is going to call you guys up. But the team was Max DeSasso, Trevor No, Jake Carlson, Jackson Dinson, Dylan Vegas, Logan Atkinson, Maverick Mathis, and Parker Montgomery. And the coaching staff, please come up. Well, that's right. Here. Have you up?
Oh. Okay, thank you again for everybody for coming tonight. Thank you, council, for hosting us. So I'm gonna call these guys up one at a time here. First, we have Max DeStasso. Next, we have Dylan Vegas. Next, we have Trevor No. Logan Atkinson. Next, we have Jake Carlson. Maverick Mathis. Jackson Dinson. And then last but not least, we have Parker Montgomery. All right, thank you guys again. I'll hand off the mic to you.
You know, this doesn't happen without, first of all, an amazing school and a principal. Mr. Ritchie, if you'd stand up, please. I know, we're going to figure it out. Come on. I'm much older than Mr. Ritchie. He could actually be my son, but my kids went to school when he was an athletic director way back when. So he knows how it works and he knows about the sports. Second are the parents that make sure you get to where you go, make sure they got food on deck all the time. Because I know swimmers and divers, any sport that my kids have ever been in, you're hungry all the time. And make sure you feed that beast, and that's why you broke those records. So again, and the coaches, you guys did an amazing job. You know, I always say we're a small school, we're a small district, we're tiny but mighty. So we really do a great job out there. But thank you to the parents for getting them where they need to be, making sure they got their stuff. Thank you, coaching. Thank you for Medina High School. Thank you for our school district, Mr. Ween, for running such a great show. I'm getting everybody tonight, aren't I? This is great. It takes a team. There's no I in team. That's the thing. So we all work together. Congratulations, guys. Very good. You broke those school records. They've been sitting up there for a long time. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Those in and out cards are activated. You can go right over there when you're done. Oh. You're confusing it. Oh, great. Now they can't even see us. Oh, thank goodness. Just call again. You're welcome. Come on up. Okay, council, out. Parents, come on. Take this opportunity. You'll never get a family audience like this. What are you doing? You're not. Stay here. Just something about Coach Unsold. Apparently, he's won 2 CIF seasons back to back on swim and water polo. Again, congratulations. You good? Don't be shy, guys. You want to take more pictures? Go ahead. Oh. Hey. We all know everybody in this community. Oh, they won CF and state. Okay. It just keeps going. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Congratulations.
Take care, guys. All right. Hey, nice suit, man.
Go to In and Out.
No, there's 3 more. Oh, yeah, no, there's 3 more.
That one, then we go public.
The last one's mine.
Medicine, Public Works, and Aging.
Okay. We're losing a crowd. My goodness. Okay. It comes to the business. No one wants to stay around. Isn't that sad? It's so exciting. Our next presentation is for the Southern California Edison Scholars Award. Every year, Southern California Edison provides 30 scholarship opportunities to students pursuing higher education in STEM-related fields. Bonita High School senior Jenny Zhang becomes the second ever student from Bonita High School to receive this prestigious award. I'd like to call forward Sal Ramirez, Government Relations Manager for Southern California Edison, as well as Jenny Zhang to be recognized for this great accomplishment.
Yes. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here and to present Jenny with the $50,000 check. Jenny will be going to Caltech and she's going to be studying engineering. She's a super smart lady and you guys have won this award 2 years in a row. Very smart people here in Laverne.
And I understand that you're going to use that for tuition. Is that correct? That's what she was saying. We could use that money. She says, no, that's going to tuition. So, which is exactly why. So congratulations. City of Laverne Certificate of Recognition presented to Jenny Zhang. Is that correct? Juns? Okay, I got it. This certificate is presented on behalf of the Laverne City Council in recognition of your scholastic achievements and for receiving the Edison Scholars Program Scholarship. Best wishes are extended for your continued success in college and your future career. Congratulations. That's more money. Want to say anything? Okay.
Let the people know.
Oh, that's great.
Come on, parents, come on up. All of you come up. Come on, don't be shy. Come on. There you go. Okay.
You work hard for it. Smile on his face at $12,000 because that's a pay. I get it. I know. Give him 2 minutes, okay? Tell us about you. He started here in Laverne. Thank you. Go high school. There you go, there you go.
Well, hopefully I'll be studying aerospace engineering, but I know Caltech doesn't offer aerospace major, aerospace as a minor. Right now I'm looking at major, computer science. I started in Laverne here in 6th grade.
I know a company she could work for right now, and that's Boeing. She could help Boeing maybe out. We get you over there and we can get on them. Yeah. They need young people to tell them how it's done. Well, congratulations. Next presentation is Public Works Week. Thank you, guys. Go ahead, go. Meg, come on up. The next presentation is for everybody. Come on up. Public Works is the Public Works Week proclamation. The third week of May is distinguished as Public Works Week, honoring the value and necessity of the Public Works Department. This year's theme is advancing quality of life for all, illustrating how public works professionals contribute to and enhance the quality of life in all the communities they proudly serve, including Laverne. Okay, here we go. It's a long one. They do a lot. They do a lot for us, a tremendous amount. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, standard of living, and well-being of the people of the city of Laverne. And whereas these infrastructure facilities and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals or engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector. And whereas these professionals are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our roads, water supply, sewer systems, solid waste, sidewalks, street trees, public buildings, parks, trails, open spaces, and other structures and facilities essential for quality of life for all residents and businesses. And whereas is the public interest for our business leaders, citizens, and children in the city of Laverne and throughout the nation to gain further understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in our communities. And whereas 2024 marks the 64th annual National Public Works Week sponsored for the American Public Works Association. Now be it proclaimed the city of Laverne that the week of May 19th to the 25th, 2024, we recognize as Public Works Week. And we urge all citizens to join with American Public Works Association, the city of Laverne, and recognize the substantial contributions Public Works makes to protecting our health, safety, and advancing quality of life for all. Dated this day, the 20th of May, 2024. Congratulations. And Meg McQuaid is our Public Works Director, and she does an incredible job along with her employees, and you see them all over Laverne. They're everywhere. It's Public Works, it's police, fire, and that's how it works around here. No one can function without Public Works, and it's a very, very important part of our city. So when you see them out there, don't honk them when they're on the middle of the street, please. You can wave, just don't honk. They might fall in the sewer hole. They're doing a testing. Don't do that. Yeah, or hot asphalt, or they're repairing a curb, or they're doing something at City Hall, but it's nice to recognize them. So Meg, it's yours.
I just want to start off by saying thank you, Mayor and Council. And I would like to recognize just a few of our team members. We have amazing staff that are so dedicated to enhancing the quality of life. The Mayor mentioned some of the things that we do. So I'd like to recognize Lisa O'Brien and Christy Sanchez, who are both, I finally get her name right. For some reason, I always want to call her a different name. Senior analysts in our department. And then also Colin Purdy is our acting maintenance manager in charge of not only facilities, but also parks and streets, traffic signals, and sidewalks. So all that fun stuff. But I want to thank the community too, because it is a partnership. We need your help and we need your eyes and we need your participation in everything that we do. But thank you again, Council. We're so proud to be part of Public Works and work alongside our brethren department. Thank you.
Again, there's not anything in the city they don't do. They're involved in everything we do in the city, whether it be our emergency operations center, Public Works is there. If it has to do with any shutdown or 4th of July or parades or Memorial Days, Public Works is always there. And you see them scoping our sewers, checking on water, checking on, I mean, the parks, you can see them all over. They are everywhere in this town. So we really do appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Come on.
So our final presentation for tonight is the Asian American Pacific Islander Proclamation. Every May, we honor the role that Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders play in developing this nation and the benefits that they add to the Laverne community. This proclamation will be presented to the University of Laverne, many of their faculty, staff, and folks. And so I'm going to call you up one by one. And so come on up and stand with us when I go through this. But for those of you that don't know, obviously, I have close ties to the university. I'm an alum of the university, and many of these people helped to shape my life, whether it was during school or post. I'm trying not to cry. I don't know what just happened. But, you know, Jerome and I, for instance, you know, we went to college together, and to see him really affecting the lives of our students is really incredible and impactful. But all of these people and so many others play such a vital part in who we are as a community. You sat here and saw our kids from Ramona, our kids from Bonita. It really takes everybody to be successful. And I'm so proud to be part of a community that has such amazing people and leaders in it. So I'd like to call up Assistant Professor of Rhetoric and Communication Studies, Ian Leasing. He was appointed the chair of the Speech Communication Department in 2009, and he was the Associate Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences in 2016. He is also just, if you ever get a chance to talk to Ian, he is amazing. He was the speech and debate coach, and if you ever watch like Filipino game shows, he was also a host. So that's a fun fact that you can take with you. Associate Professor of Mathematics, Gail Tang. Dr. Tang played a key role in securing the HHMI Inclusive Excellence 3 grant. Last summer, she participated in NOAA's Teacher at Sea program and documented her experience on her blog. She's a leader in STEM, and she inspires students and faculty to explore math and science in new ways. Our interim co-dean for the Library and Learning Commons, Amy Jang. Amy leads initiatives and programs for our students, our faculty, and staff to enhance learning, and she's been a key leader bringing the community together regarding virtual reality and learning. So that's really exciting for anyone who wants to try out virtual reality. You'll have to talk to Amy about it. Our broadcasting operations manager, Shane Rodriguez. If you know LBTV, Shane is the mastermind behind what happens with a lot of our students. You'll see him out and about, but he does some really incredible work. He's an award-winning videographer. He's a producer and director of LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. He's won awards from the Alliance for Community Media, California Intercollegiate Press Association, and numerous others. And he's just a really fun human. So if you ever want to know about churning or food or things, Shane's your guy. Our Director of Residence Life and Student Conduct, Eugene Shang. Eugene just recently won the University of Laverne Spirit Award. He's been with the university over 20 years. And if you have a kid and you're wondering where you should send your kid to college, I say the University of Laverne because Eugene takes kids under his wings like you wouldn't believe. Kids who just need someone to be there for them if they're, it's their home away from home. He's a dad. Totally amazing. And so if you ever hear some of the students that tell stories about Eugene, so good. Our coordinator of residence life, Jason Soriel. Jason is also an alum, and he's also one of those wonderful human beings that really cares and supports our students. He bridges partnerships across all campus units. He embodies the spirit of service. And he's also currently the assistant football coach for the freshman team at Bonita. So see how that all comes around? Yeah. Our associate dean of student engagement and belonging, Adam Wong. Adam is endlessly patient, thoughtful, and respected. He brings perspective and levity to everything that he does. He's an innovator, and he's really responsible for really improving our co-curricular experiences for our students. So he does good work there. So Professor of Kinesiology, Paul Alvarez. Dr. Alvarez has been with us since 1987. He started off as a part-time assistant athletic trainer, but he's done so much more than that. Not only has he served the healthcare needs of our student athletes, he's been part of the medical staff for the USA team to the World University Games, and he's participated in 6 events around the world. If you ever want to get on his blog, he will send an email detailing all of his amazing trips and what he does with these amazing athletes around the world. Biology professor, Jerome Garcia. Like I said, Jerome and I go way back, and I always love to tell the students that not only did we go to college together, but we were on homecoming court together. So it's endless fun for the students to say, what, you were on homecoming court? But he's also an amazing person. Not only is he super gifted in the sciences and everything else, he really connects with the students and really does just such a wonderful job for them. So I just think it's so appropriate for AAPI Heritage Month to honor all of these wonderful human beings who not only impact the lives of students, but many of these students who become leaders and people in the community that give back. They're really amazing. And I know that this place wouldn't be where we are without them. So thank you so much. And this is the fun proclamation. So whereas Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month is a celebration that highlights the rich and diverse histories and cultures of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders throughout the United States. And whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders representing more than 56 ethnic groups enrich our nation with their diverse cultures, languages, and religions, making our society more vibrant. And whereas California is home to over 6 million Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders who contribute in invaluable ways to the fabric of our state and nation. And whereas the theme for the 2024 AAPI Heritage Month, Advancing Leaders Through Innovation, honors the visionaries and trailblazers who have shaped our nation's history and continue to influence our collective culture. And whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders represent the fastest growing demographic in Laverne, enriching our city with their vibrant traditions and contributions. And whereas the Asian American and Pacific Islander faculty at the University of Laverne play vital roles in leadership positions and throughout the university, shaping bright futures of our students and strengthening the Laverne community. Now be it proclaimed by the City of Laverne that the month of May 2024 be recognized as Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And we encourage all citizens to recognize, celebrate, and support the contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, fostering a more inclusive and understanding community. Dated this 20th day of May, 2020.
His Honor the Mayor, members of the City Council, citizens of Laverne. It's very interesting because I've been at Laverne for 25 years. And it's the first time I'm not going to say University of Laverne. I'm always so used to saying that and realizing, of course, that we're all part of one family. And it's a community that I've grown to really understand and love. And I know I speak on behalf of all of the faculty and staff and administrators gathered here today when we say that the support that comes from the city is something that is so immeasurable and something that we cannot ever thank you guys enough. But we are also part of a team, and we also want to know that I want you to know that we're there for you as well. We're here to serve you as well, not just the university, but the citizens of this great city. And so we thank you so much for this recognition. And we thank, of course, Councilmember Lau, who's been a great friend of ours for so long. And thank you so very much.
I just want to know how you graduated, because I know there was some partying going on. You know, we should, hey, Mr. Domer, can we just stop the meeting and just go down to Chase's? I guess that's it, huh? I guess we got to finish. Suhei, always a pleasure.
Good evening, esteemed members. So, there we go. So good evening, esteemed members of the Laverne City Council. My name is Dr. Suhei Espinoza, and I am the Associate Vice President and Chief Government Relations Officer at the University of Laverne. I'm honored to be here on behalf of the University of Laverne, where we proudly celebrate the rich, diverse contributions of our Asian American and Pacific Islander community. Every year, the Laverne City Council celebrates the University of Laverne, celebrates the vital role of Asian Americans and Pacific Islander community has played in shaping our city's culture and history. This year, we are particularly excited to acknowledge the significant Asian American Pacific Islander faculty and staff who stand right behind me. And their dedication and commitment have not only enriched our academic environment, but has also fostered a greater understanding and appreciation of the diverse culture that makes up our city. Their work continues to inspire students and faculty alike, promoting a spirit of inclusivity and excellence. It is with great pride that we celebrate all of you in recognition of the invaluable contributions to the Asian American Pacific Islander community and beyond. We look forward to our continuous collaboration with the City of Laverne, celebrating the diversity that strengthens and enriches this beautiful city of Laverne. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Zuzek. Thank you guys very much. Thank you. Councilmember Lau, thank you. Oh. Listen. Let's do it now. Not in here. What? Fire. Sounds- I'd like to call up Sean Wilkins for the fire program. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council members. I'm Sean Wilkins with the Laverne Fire Department. And on behalf of our newly reestablished Fire Explorer program, I would like to announce for the public that we are open for recruiting interest until the end of this month. So if you are between the ages of 15 and 20, you can go to our social media page on Instagram, Laverne Fire Explorers, or you can email us at explorers@lavernefire.org. After recruitment ends at the end of May, we will begin contacting individuals who have expressed interest regarding an upcoming orientation date. That date as of now is to be determined, but it will occur sometime in June. So again, if you're between 15 and 20 years old, you can go to our Instagram page, Laverne Fire Explorers, or you can email us at explorers@lavernefire.org. Thank you.
Sean, real quick, how many explorers do we have in the program currently?
Currently, there's officially about 18 explorers, but maybe about 10 that are consistently appearing members.
How many can you hold?
Around 24.
24? Okay. Well, I would suggest if anybody's interested to do it because it's a great program. And not that, it gets you a firsthand look at fire service, whether you're an AO and go from the AO to and transition and go through the fire program. We've had a number of firefighters that have been through this and have become firefighters in Laverne. So it's a great, great program. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. So we're trying to establish this ladder where you go from explorer to AO to firefighter, as you said. So if you want to get into the fire service, that's a great opportunity.
Nice to have homegrown, isn't it?
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank
Mayor.
you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you. Next, we're going to have announcement. Let's see. Let me check to make sure. I don't want to miss anything here. Good. Nope. Announcements of upcoming events. There you go. I got them. Nope, got them. My eyeballs. Oh, that's who they are. Oh. We'll move. We have a couple. We have one here that I think we're good. If anybody has an announcement, this is an announcement of upcoming events, nothing to do with public comment. Only what's upcoming in the community, something that you have that you'd like to talk about. Be more than happy to. Yes. You just signaling. Please.
Tomorrow night and Wednesday night,
we have the Bonita Pop Show. There's still a few tickets left. It's at 7 p.m. at the Bonita Center of the Arts. It's the last concert for Bonita's choir. They've done a fabulous job for us here at Christmas and done great singing for us. So this is their ecstatic, fun show that they do dancing and everything at the Bonita Arts Center. So a few tickets. I know I have some nosebleeds up there tomorrow. On June 9th, the Laverne Historical Society is going to have the cemetery walk. And I will participate in that as well. I'm a docent for them. So come out June 9th and contact Sherry Best and the Laverne Historical Society, where the first one was you got to walk around University of Laverne and learn all about the presidents. Then they went and saw the homes, and now you get to see where they live now.
You mean their final resting place? Yes. Yes. Thank you. Councilmember Lau.
So just a couple of things. This week I know we're into May, and so we're getting into graduation season. So this Friday on May 24th, ULV will be having their baccalaureate at the Church of the Brethren. And then graduation will commence all day Saturday, with the undergraduate ceremonies happening in the morning and the graduate ceremonies happening in the evening. So you do need a ticket to go, but I am also just warning you that if you see traffic, that may be part of it. So just as an FYI, but if you do see a graduate and people walking around, be sure to say congratulations. A reminder that we have a Memorial Day event at Veterans Hall on this coming Monday at 11 a.m. for all those who would like to attend. And also Grace Napolitano is putting on a Veterans Forum on Saturday, June 15th, and it's at the Azusa, California National Guard Armory. There will be VA reps there to provide resources and helpful information for any veterans that are interested. So that information you can, I believe, find it on Congresswoman Napolitano's website.
Thank you, Councilmember Lau. Just a reminder that we are starting to get to the close of the school year. So we want to make sure that we slow down, pay attention. That's graduation from not only the grade schools, the high schools, and the universities. So pay attention, slow down. They're going to be moving around. There's going to be a lot of kids, a lot of families. So I would just please, and also the fair's on now. So, you know, if you don't want to go to Arrow Highway and you don't want to go to the fair, then stay away. Stay up above on Bonita Avenue. I did visit the fair last night with my grandson and my daughter and son-in-law, my wife, and it's nice. It's clean. The food is great. And the weather is incredible. So this is the third year they changed it to the May timeframe. The temperatures are incredible. The concerts are great. So if you get a chance, go for a couple hours, go through those crazy open forums that they've got and the exhibit halls, and grab some food, a cold beverage or an adult beverage. It's a great place to walk around. So downtown. Wait, pull it? Or are you gonna recruit yourself? Okay, no wait. Other than that, any other announcements? We will close announcements and move to, consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar are routine and will be enacted by one motion unless a member of the city council or a member of the audience requests separate discussion. Councilor, are there any requests to pull the item of consent calendar? Okay.
Move to approve.
Second?
Second.
That motion was approved 5-0.
Oh.
Oh, no, wait, we don't know yet. That motion is now approved 5-0. Sorry, JR.
You're doing great. You're doing great, Aaron. Just
Okay, one chance and that was it. You're off of that button.
And we're done. She said no more voting.
Okay, we're done. We just go home now. Very good. Other matters. We will now move on to other matters. We have 3 items tonight. The first is we want to move to the DIBID. Well, we have actually the Chamber of Commerce. We want to put DIBID above Chamber of Commerce.
I'd like to move the approval.
Can we make that clear, please?
Yeah.
I got 98 notes over here. Okay.
we're going to move number 13 to the top of other matters.
Okay. Which is, where are we at? Mr. Shear, the divot. We're going to the divot. Thank you. Down to Director Shear. Take it away.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Tonight is the annual report of the Old Town Laverne Business Improvement District. In 1986, the council adopted Ordinance 720 establishing the district. Later the advisory board, which is made up of residents and Old Town business owners who make recommendations to the council on items related to Old Town and Old Town events. The annual report provides an overview of the prior year's activities, a proposed budget for the upcoming fiscal year, and it reestablishes formally the district boundaries and the assessments formula in compliance with the Parking and Improvement Area Law Act of 1989. One difference in this year's report is that staff, along with City Manager Domer, are exploring bringing an outside consultant to help to assess the current operations of the district, as well as the relationship between the district and the Old Town Business or Old Town Laverne Business Association, which is a nonprofit separate from the city and this advisory board. We're hoping to make some improvements in efficiencies and processing, including exploring for the association side, hiring a part-time staff person to help with their events and marketing efforts. Before I bring up District Chair Craig Walters, I do want to provide the recommendation for tonight's action. That would be to approve the annual report for the Old Town Laverne Business Improvement District, as well as to adopt the attached the resolution declaring the city's intention to levy an annual assessment for fiscal year 24-25 at your council meeting on June 3rd, which is a public hearing. So that's an action that also needs to be taken tonight to officially have the meeting at your next meeting for the protest hearing for the levy assessment. With that, I'll bring up District Chair Greg Walters to go over events and special presentation as well. Greg.
Good evening, Mr. Walters.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council. You know, when I walked in, you were starting with the Pacific Islanders, Asian, and I was thinking I'd like to volunteer to be an honorary Pacific Islander. And if you need somebody, I'm happy to represent the city in Hawaii anytime you want.
You are very generous.
I would do a very good job with that. Thank you for having us again. It's kind of hard to believe, but 38 years ago, the Old Town District was formed, and it came about, as I know all of you know, at the initiation of some of the businesses downtown that felt we needed something to jumpstart some of the activities, provide some funds to do more activities and maintenance in the area as well. So 38 years later, it's been through many iterations. I have been around for quite a bit of that and seen a lot of changes occur in Old Town. I think what I would say at this point is I felt like this year we really have come out of the pandemic era. The first couple of years, it was tough, and we had a number of businesses that were, having a little bit difficult time. But if you go to Old Town now, especially in the evenings, on the weekends, it's hard to find a place to park. And the restaurants are booming. The other businesses are just going crazy. It's hard to find a business district that has 0 vacancies in Southern California. But Old Town is a very desirable place. One thing I'm very happy with is we're starting to see some of the new folks that have businesses in Old Town are stepping up to the plate. We just completed our annual wine walk a couple of weeks ago, and there's some new faces in there. And that's always a challenge because after a while, there's a bit of burnout and there's a lot of work when it's all volunteer. So that's encouraging to see new folks that see activities as being very important to the success of the district. Eric mentioned that we're in talks with the city manager to reorganize some things, how we do things with our nonprofit association, how that relates to the district. And I think it has a number of really good potential benefits for us, for the downtown, and for the community in Old Town. So this year we had really a great year. Our holiday open house, I think most of you were there. It was just crazy. We had more people than we'd ever had before. The stage is a great feature that we've added to Old Town, and it was a great kickoff to the holiday season. The 2 car shows we did also had great attendance, and we just get a lot of support from the community coming out to those events. The biggest event, as I mentioned, is the Wine Walk. This was our 12th year. I did a little quick math, and we have served just under 1,000 cases of wine during that time, which works out to about 11,500 bottles.
Are you trying to say something about our community?
I'm not. Yeah,
That's one seating.
I'm not going to ask the mayor how many of those he might have.
Greg, only beer. I only drink beer. That's it.
Okay. Well, there we go. The Wine Walk is our number one fundraiser for Old Town. We obviously get the assessment that comes as part of an additional assessment, part of business licenses in the area, but that really doesn't cover much more than the basics, keeping the sidewalks and areas clean, and paying some of the general bills. Anything that has to do with promotion of Old Town has now been given to the association, our nonprofit association, to handle. And so the Wine Walk and our upcoming Beer Walk, which we intend to bring back this year in September, those are, there you go. Don't have an idea how many bottles of beer yet, but I'm looking for somebody to count. So let me know. There you go. Hopefully more than that. Yeah. We won't do that. Again, this year we had over 900 people come. The weather was spectacular. We've really been blessed this year with just incredible weather. Tim, you mentioned the fair. I've never seen a month of May at the fair, this beautiful. So we're hoping it continues a little bit longer into the summertime. Each year we choose a community partner to be a charity, a nonprofit, to be a charity partner. It was decided 13 years ago, that we didn't want to just raise money for ourselves. We wanted to give something back. And so over the years, many different organizations have been beneficiaries of that. This year, the beneficiary is the Laverne Rotary Club. And yeah. And we have kind of an ulterior motive to how we select a group. We first want to know, how many volunteers do you have that can come down and help? And I can say that the Rotary Club was very well representative. Councilman Johnson was out there checking IDs and other things, did a good job. And, the check-in worked really smoothly, and we're very thankful for that. And are we ready to do that now? So I'd like to call up the president of the Rotary, Diana. Diana Laguna, right? Very good. Yeah. Good to see you. Steve, why don't you tell us a bit about Rotary?
Well, first of all, I've been a member of the Laverne Rotary Club for well over 40 years now. So it's been a big part of my life. Well, Lori helps out on many occasions. A way to give back to our community.
Yes, I would like to say thank you so much for the opportunity of letting us volunteer and help the wine walk. It was very exciting. Tried to get as many people as we could to help out. And I was also very excited to see all these people in council so I can promote people to come and join the club. We are looking for members and everybody's welcome to come, and we're growing. We need to grow more. So thank you guys for honor.
So this is a check representing a donation of $2,000 to Laverne Rotary. And they say the check is in the mail, the real check, but I'd hang on to this one in the meantime. Yeah, yeah. Well, you could try. But if you do, like that may show up. So that's up to you. But thank you again, Laverne Rotary, and thank you to the community of Laverne for also all the support we get.
Any council comments on this before we go to a public comment? Oh, you gonna go cash it right now? What's the deal? With that, we're gonna open up public comment. Is there any public comment on this item?
I would mention that the Laverne Rotary Club has decided to donate that $2,000 to Love Laverne Day.
Oh, we'd like that. And Love Laverne Day was sponsored by the Laverne Chamber of Commerce, Rotary, also the University of Laverne. And next time we do it, we hope to have even more people. We worked at the Heritage Park, planting plants, putting in mulch, putting in DG. But we need more hands next time. But it was a very, very successful day, and it was beautiful outside. I didn't realize that the planters where they wanted the plants, though, they were all where the tree roots were. So Councilmember Cash and myself, of course, Mr. Johnson escaped. He went with Josh from Waste Management on a trash truck down the alleys picking up trash. I think he had the better job. But anyway, it was very successful, and thank you guys. It was really, really great day. We're going to open up public comment on this item. Anyone wish to speak on this? We're going to go ahead and close public comment, bring it up to the dais. Any other comments? Any for council? I just have one request that we've talked about this before, and I know the budget's tight, but I would like to get lights on the north side of D Street where the bank and Hannah Walt Dentistry, as that is the entrance and the first business. Yeah, all the way up if we can. I mean, come the day that we can do that. We have a beer walk, maybe get some more money, but we want to, I know that we have to redo the lights and stuff on the trees, but we want to get that area lit up because that's our entrance to Old Town, and it's very important. So, but with that, is there a motion to approve the 2023-2024 annual report to the Old Town Laverne Business Improvement District bid and adopt the attached resolution declaring the city's intention to levy an annual assessment for fiscal year 2024-25 for the BID at their meeting on June 3rd, 2024, receive and file the police department utilization and staffing study. Wait a minute.
No, it's
I'm waiting on now.
recommend
Wait a minute.
both the
What is it?
approval of the annual report
Yes.
of Old Town and adopt the resolution declaring the city's intention to levy an annual assessment for fiscal year 23-24 for 24-25 for
Right
the
there.
BID
There you
at
go.
their meeting on June 3rd.
June 3rd.
Is that your motion?
Motion, please.
Thank you.
Second?
Second. Vote.
That motion was approved 5-0.
We'll move on to the annual partnership agreement with the Laverne Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Domer, will you please call for the staff member who will be reporting? Mr. Shear.
Mr. Shear.
Thank you, Craig.
Good evening once again. This is also the annual report for the Chamber of Commerce. Chamber has provided a partnership agreement to cover the next 12 months from July 1st, 24 to June 30th of 2025. The subsidy remains the same as the current year at $45,000 for an annual payment paid in quarterly installments. There's also $3,000 budgeted to assist with first-time new Laverne businesses with their first year membership, hoping to get them to join the chamber and then hopefully continue on that membership after their first year of being in the city. There are no significant changes in this year's annual report. We did add the couple new programs, including Love Laverne Day, which wasn't in last year's agreement. Also, assistance with the future general plans is expected to be adopted this year. And there will be an economic development element as part of that. So we would partner with the chamber of implementing that, as well as we think that the chamber could be a good partnership with the recently instated backer program. And so that's also been added to the agreement for next year for their assistance. Before I introduce Leah Skinner to go over their programs, staff's recommended, as recommended by the City Council Chamber Liaison Committee, which is Mayor Pro Tem Johnson and Councilmember Lau, that the City Council approved the draft partnership agreement for next year. A tracked version was attached to the agenda packet to see those changes that were made. And with that, I will introduce Leah.
Good evening. I remembered this year. In regards to 2023-2024, the accomplishments for our partnership agreement, the Chamber has submitted all reports and met the 4 conditions as stated by the required deadlines to date. Under economic development, we did host our 22nd annual Taste of Laverne and 4th annual Restaurant Week. We had 25 restaurants and beverage companies participate. Save the date next year is Wednesday, October 16th, and we're possibly exploring a new venue. We sponsored a Small Business Saturday social media hashtag promotion that was unfortunately unsuccessful. We'll be going back to the drawing board on that this year. We hosted our 5th annual Excellence in Laverne Business of the Year Award and recognized 5 outstanding businesses: New Business of the Year, Family-Owned Business of the Year, Nonprofit of the Year, and our Ambassador of the Year. We participated in the 4th of July parade with Shop Laverne messaging, also encouraging people to vote in our Best of Laverne online campaign, which we did host our 2nd one this year. We had over 3,000 voters that cast 14,560 votes for 300 contenders in 80 categories. Nominations for 2024 will open on June 21st and run through the first week in August. The goal of that program is to encourage exploration and shopping during the slower summer months. We are in process right now of replacing the blown down Shop Laverne Bonita Avenue banners. We have recently submitted replacement brackets for review with the Public Works Director, and hopefully we'll get that started before the summer. Here's some numbers. The Chamber website has had close to 25,000 visitors to date, close to 75,000 views on our directory, 23,000 views on our calendar, 300 job posting views, and our businesses that have listed in our directory have shown up in Google searches 1,755,413 times. So we do have quite a powerful website that is getting a lot of attention and showcasing all the great businesses in our community. We hosted 25 networking events and 5 ribbon cuttings, and we also hosted in partnership with VACI, which is an organization of 30+ chamber executives in the San Gabriel Valley, 4 webinars in a part of a 8 webinar series. The chamber ambassadors welcome 53 non-home-based businesses from the New Business Register this year and hand-delivered welcome packets to each. And the chamber updated our public policy platform this year that greatly aligned with the City of Laverne legislative platform. A lot of copying and pasting, honestly. We participated in 5 resource and career fairs, including Ramona Middle School, Joan Macy Career Fair, and several specific fairs with the Bonita Unified School District seniors. We partnered with the San Dimas Chamber again this year and with the Bonita Unified School District and participated in their career and technical education advisory panel. We brought in businesses that complemented the CTE pathway programs and created an open dialogue between those business owners and those educators to make sure the students were coming away with their high school diploma or their CTE certificate program, able to jump straight into the workforce. Last week, we hosted our 21st annual Teacher of the Year Awards program. Very happily back at Hillcrest for the first time since COVID. 12 exceptional educators were honored for their outstanding achievements, and over 200 guests were in attendance. The Chamber Scholarship Program awarded 3 scholarships this year, totaling $1,500. All the funds are raised through voluntary contributions from over 200 chamber members. We've awarded $13,250 in scholarships since the program's inception in 2019. Community outreach, the Chamber hosted the spring community yard sale, resulting in 10.8 tons of waste being diverted to landfills, either sold or donated at the end of the day. This year, we also partnered with Bonita High School PTA, and they hosted the e-waste event in conjunction with ours. I have yet to hear back what their totals were picked up, but they said they had a very good day. We also encourage recycling throughout the year with social media posts and newsletter articles. And next year, we are planning on bringing back the waste management recycling facility tour. 9/11 this year on the Day of Remembrance. Modern Mayhem Sweets donated treats for all of our first responders. Our community outreach committee delivered trays of Michael's goodies to all 3 fire departments and the police department. And we are planning on continuing on that tradition moving forward. And we did host the State of the City address. Once again, we return that to University of Laverne. It is a wonderful partnership and a great venue. LVTV was there to record the event, and the video is linked on the front page of the website. We did host our very first Love Laverne Day on May 11th. So a big thanks to the Laverne Rotary, Foothill Gold Line, and the University of Laverne for supporting the event through their sponsorships. Community-wide volunteer day, we had around 35 volunteers for 4 projects, including the Refresh Heritage Park, which all of the council members were there sweating and moving. We got about 2 1/4 of 5 projects done that day. The Riparian Channel Trail cleanup. The alleyway cleanup with waste management that removed 2.5 tons of trash from the alleys.
Hey, it's easy. You know what? Yeah, what, they go in my garage? Yeah. Yeah, Steve's going, yeah, we did 2.5 tons. Yeah, you had a mechanical device. We had shovels. Yeah, yeah.
Project One Cause partnered with Lighthouse Calvary Baptist Church and created hospital care packages specifically for parents that are in the hospital when their children have hypoxic brain injuries, if I pronounce that right. And then the Laverne Historical Society partnered with the Girl Scout troops and created several pocket museums for the school district. So we will be adding a page to our website that will be a store. So individuals are able to go online and buy t-shirts and coffee mugs and other things with the I Love Laverne logo. The proceeds from that will help fund more projects next year. It was a great first effort. I learned a lot. There's lots of room for improvement. So better than last year, not as good as next year. The members, staff, and board of directors would like to thank the City Council for their continued support of the Chamber of Commerce, and most importantly, your constant support for our business community.
Thank you, Leah. Do we have any questions for Leah before she Comments later. Well, thank you. We'll go ahead and open up public comment on this item. Anybody wish to speak on public comment? That would be no. We'll close public comment and move to council.
I just want to thank Leah and her team and all but what Leah does for our community. We run a model chamber of commerce, and it's because of Leah Skinner and her vision and what she does with all of our community members. What she does for our brand new businesses and really brings them aboard. And the toughest year for any brand new business is that year one and learning. And Leah just brings them like under her wings and really helps them and gets them attached to other businesses, gets them attached to a community that wants to see everyone survive and everyone thrive, and really appreciate all that she does, but appreciate our Chamber of Commerce that we have in Laverne and what we do for our businesses. So thank you very much.
Councilmember Cash?
You
just want cookies from Michael, I understand, but whatever.
Sorry, Steve. No, but thank you, Leah. And every time I see every great event with the chamber, it's nothing but a success in my eyes because it brings everybody together for a great cause. Whether it's awarding the teachers, doing Love Laverne, the wine walk, which I really love, beer walk, which I really love. I'm looking forward to come back this year. Every event that involves the city, and you're there and you bring this amazing. I mean, you brought an amazing chef, amazing restaurant owner I could see right there. Thank you, and you guys are awesome, great chefs. Great chefs. That's all I know. But also thank you for having, really at when I Love Laverne, we had the great barista came with a little coffee. Hey, that was awesome. And that was on point. So thank you again. We appreciate you. Looking for the next Taste of Laverne in the hangar. That was it's just a great year. So let's keep it going.
Councilmember Lau.
Yeah, I would just echo the sentiments about Leah's work and everything that she's done with the chamber. I think, there's a lot of unsung heroism there. A lot of things that happen because of Leah, because of the chamber, because of the members she recruits, that wouldn't happen otherwise if it wasn't for the work. And I think I'll tell, one story that, you don't realize how good you've got it until you see others, right? So at an event not to be named, there were other chambers present. And first of all, they don't even have the right scissors.
No.
So if you've ever seen Leah's scissors for the chamber, they're giant weapons of mass destruction. They're super sharp and they can they're real scissors and they cut. And a different chamber from an undisclosed location came with basically like kindergarten safety scissors. So Leah does, those are the little touches that maybe we don't always think about, but Leah is good about thinking about those details. She's great about wanting to partner with other entities in our city, whether it's our businesses, whether it's the university, whether it's Hillcrest, whatever it is. And I think that says a lot about building community and networks within our city. So thank you for everything that you've done. We really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to Love Laverne Day next year. I think for a first run, it definitely was great. There was some, we all had a good time that were able to make it out there. The coffee was excellent. So definitely thank you for bringing that to us. And I think it's going to be really great as it picks up more momentum in the coming years. So thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Johnson. I know you had the trash truck. Yes, say it again. You went on the trash truck. I know. Yeah, it's okay.
I even had him directed down to First and Second Street to clean those two up.
I'm so proud of you. You had
Just because
you had a 20-ton vehicle. I had a shovel. He had coffee. I had nothing.
We had a wheelbarrow.
We had a wheelbarrow. Oh yeah. Not that we're whining, but we're just jealous.
It's like you're whining.
I'm probably whining. Whatever. Yes.
Well, and it was a pleasure having Deanna, the Rotary Club president, with us all on track. Well,
yes. Leave that one alone. Again, we really appreciate what you do. And especially now we're going into a very interesting time where we have a lot of box stores that are empty, and we look forward to the chamber, the city, our community development department, our San Gabriel Valley Economic Partnership. It's important that we kind of hunker down and make sure that we can try to get some people into our community and more businesses. We've got amazing businesses. Everybody collaborates well together. Each one's got their little niche market, and I think it's really, really good. and all the things that you do. You're always on task, and I really appreciate that. You run them fast, you get them through there. The teachers was probably, I would say that's probably the best one we've ever had as far as staying on track and moving through. And you know, and it's a very interesting story to each individual, but you do have to. Leah's standing like this, they're speaking at the podium, she's got their bag. It's like, you've got 1 minute to say hi. But no, I just appreciate that. We've got a great partnership. Everything's working well. Thank you, Steve and Wendy, for what you do with the part with and also Director Shear. You guys do a great job. So we really appreciate it. And we look forward to many more years of this for our community.
Motion to approve the contract with the Chamber of Commerce.
I have a second?
Second.
Vote, please.
That motion was approved 5-0.
Next item is the Police Department Utilization and Staffing Study that was completed by the Matrix Consulting Group. City Manager Domer, please call forward the staff member who will be reporting.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to call forward Chief Sam Gonzalez.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, fellow council members, city staff. Well, we're finally here. The long-awaited department utilization and staffing study is finally here. The document, the 116-page document shared with you, excuse me, will shape the department's operations, resource management over the next 10 years. If you can recall, this was initiated in response to the council's directive back in on December 5th, 2022, for a comprehensive analysis by the Matrix Consulting Group. I won't get into the study dynamics as I don't want to steal Mr. Richard Brady's thunder, but it is extensive. Before going into that, I also want to make sure that I provide you the recommendation that staff recommends that the city council receive and file the police department utilization and staffing study completed by the Matrix Consulting Group. But I will close with this, is that although this is going to be received and filed, I'll be working closely with the city manager on staffing proposals and bring the items forward to council for action when developed. With that said, I'd like to bring up the president of Matrix Consulting, Mr. Richard Brady, to provide the presentation.
Welcome, Mr. Brady.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. I am indeed Richard Brady. I'm the president of Matrix Consulting Group, and I led a group of consultants to work on, on this assignment. We started this project about the middle of last year, and we've been working pretty steadily throughout it. It has taken some time. We had some data challenges, but we got over that. And I have put together, as you mentioned, a very extensive report, and I'd like to go over the high points associated with it and the major conclusions and recommendations that we've made, and then answer any questions that you have. So first of all, just as an introduction, Matrix Consulting Group, we've been in business serving local government across the country, but we're based in California for 21 years. While we do a lot of things for local government, our work with police departments is by far the largest service area that we've got as a firm. We've worked with over 400 law enforcement agencies around the country, a few in Canada as well, but over 100 within California. Our approach is one where we are fact-based. As you can see going through the report, there's an extensive use of data analytics to prove to you that there may or may not be some issue associated with operations. And that's something that we're recommending can make service work more effectively and more efficiently. But we get a lot of input from the staff who are providing services. And in a department your size, that was facilitated. We were able to do some ride-alongs. We had individual interviews with not just command and supervisory staff, but support staff as well, which provided an important context to operations management. And there was interaction with the department as we went through this project. Somebody going to override me? There we go. So what we were asked to do, first of all, is to study the workload and the services and the service levels provided by the police department to the community. And importantly, as you see as we go through this presentation, internally, the way it supports itself as well. Compare those operations and those services to best practices in law enforcement. You're unique. We didn't compare you to other communities except in one respect that I'll get into later. To evaluate current and projected staffing and facility needs for the police department, but also importantly, to look at operations management. If you just develop a staffing analysis, and especially projections based on how you're doing business right now, without consideration to how those resources, staff resources, other resources are being managed and how they fall into a context of police best practices, you've got a poor foundation upon which to do that. So we challenged how they're managing cases, how they're deploying staff, et cetera, and use that as an effective foundation to do our analysis. I'm going to go through each one of the areas of the police department and talk briefly about what we found and what our recommendations are. The largest part of the department, of any department, is its patrol services. And as you saw in the report, almost half of the report is looking at patrol and patrol-related services. As we look at that, certainly we look at calls for service and how they were responded to. We look at response time, things like that. But the most important metric to look at in patrol is how proactive they are. Do they have time to be proactive, to anticipate problems, to work with the community, to be engaged with the community, to work in partnership with them on the problems that they're experiencing? That's the most important thing that they do, because otherwise they're just responding to things that happened several minutes ago. It's also a way of developing trust with the community and through engagement and through those partnerships. So we establish how proactive they are and what they do with that proactive time, to look at the total time they have in the field and to subtract from that the community-generated workloads. And the remainder of that is an important amount of time for community engagement, problem solving, officer-initiated activity, and things like that. So that's how we did that. Comparatively, if agencies have at least 40% of their time to be proactive, that happens in significant enough times that they could do something with it, like deploy themselves in like a high-density residential area where there might have been catalytic converter thefts, where there may be people speeding through neighborhoods or school zones and things like that. And they can actually be substantively productive with that proactive time. Less than that, and they can't. So first of all, we looked at the calls for service. So this heat graph, we call it, on the right, are all the calls for service. These are the community-generated workloads responded to by the department, broken down by every hour of the day and every day of the week. And like with most police departments, you can see that those yellow and orange and red areas mostly happen from late morning until later on in the evening. Your department responds to about 10,000 community-generated calls a year. That averages out to a little bit more than 1 an hour. Some of those hours, like in the late afternoon, early evening, it may be 2 or 3 times that level, but 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, et cetera, it may be 1/4 of that. So this is pretty typical. As we look at the top 10 calls for service, and I'll get into this a little bit more later, this is about 50% of the calls, by the way. They're mostly quality of life types of things and things like disturbances, certainly the result of homelessness in the community, but assist to community members and alarms and things like that. Crimes, major crimes certainly do not get into the top 10 calls for service, which is an important finding, an important element in the work that we did for you. So the second thing we did relating to those calls for service is to look at response time. And in this community, they are extraordinarily good. The typical pattern that we see with our clients is almost all of them can get to a high priority call relatively within 5 to 7 or 8 minutes from when the call came in. And you do that as well. But most of our clients, it falls off precipitously as you go down the priority scale of calls for service into those quality of life types of things and things that may have happened a day ago and they're just reporting them now. But the response times are almost as quick to lower priority calls. And it's only when you get to very lowest priority calls, which is only about 15% of the calls, that it's over 10 minutes on average. So you should be very proud of that, but it also says a lot about how available patrol personnel are to be able to respond to something, not having to break off from one call to go to another call, thereby slowing it down. So this is the summation of looking at all those calls for service that we looked at. And the key thing, I think it's one of the most important graphs on the whole report, is that graph on the right. And what it shows is by 4-hour time blocks every day of the week, how proactive they can be. The idea here, if you can't read it in the audience here, the more green, the better. And this is entirely green, except for a couple of boxes which are slightly green. This is, too, very unlike most of our clients, which during those peak hours from 10 o'clock in the morning to about 10 o'clock at night are usually not green at all, even in suburban community. So it says at over 55% of their total time to be able to be proactive, there are almost no hours a day, only 2 that fall slightly below that, and all of them are above that. So you have the ability in your patrol force to be engaged with the community. The good news is that they not only have that time, but they use it. So we actually looked at officer-generated activity, whether it's traffic, whether it's getting out of their car and meeting with community members, et cetera. And they're generating things that you can count, because there are a lot of things in what I just said that they don't count, and that's common. That's equal to about half of the number of calls for service. That's extraordinary when you consider that almost all of that happens in those daylight hours and maybe early evening hours. So they're very productive and very good at responding not only to community generated workloads, but by working with the community and anticipating work in the community. We have made a recommendation, in spite of that high level of proactivity, to add 1 patrol officer to equalize that capability among teams. So there are other functions in the operations division besides patrol. There's traffic. While traffic enforcement is part of what everybody in field services does, you've got 1 traffic unit that solely does that, and that person is highly productive in working with the community on problems, using statistics to deploy not only what that unit does, but other patrol units in high-risk areas or high enforcement needed areas. So that no change there. The community services unit, a current position was effectively brought into a citywide team because of the importance, the notoriety, and the growing importance of using social media and other resources to be engaged with the community, get information to the community, get problems from the community to the police department. We're recommending a police department dedicated position to be involved in social media, public affairs, and crime analysis to some extent as well. Homeless outreach. This is a need not just in Laverne, but in every community, almost every community in California, and increasingly across the country. Right now, it's being met on a collateral basis by existing patrol personnel, and the need is growing to have a dedicated unit to be able to do that. And the reason is that I mentioned the top 10 calls for service. This is a graph that looks at what those top 10 things are, and you can certainly see what code H, which relates to homeless subject, is the number 1 call. We're not able to directly identify whether it's a homeless, mental health, or behavioral health type of situation and other kind of calls all the time unless it comes out in a report. But for many of the things that represent the top calls within a community, it lends itself to being supported by a dedicated team that is not only responding in a way in which they're more highly trained to be able to deal with the event that happened, but also to work as a liaison to programs and services rather than just looking at it as an enforcement kind of event. Eventually, that can be an integrated team of both sworn officers and non-sworn personnel, but given the size of your department, it's probably best to develop 2 two-person teams that are deployed in the busiest parts of the day, which are the blue parts that you can see there. but so that you can get 7-day coverage. Another finding in the operations division relates to a common problem in smaller departments. A lot of it is desirable, but a lot of it has an unintended side effect. Right now, you've got a chief, you've got a captain, you've got a lieutenant, and then you've got sergeants. All of them have what are called collateral responsibility that may relate to supporting records and records retention or fleet management or facility management or policies, other kinds of investigations and things like that. Those are good things to help prepare people who are first-line supervisors or mid-managers for promotion, for taking on more responsibility. But the more you're doing it, and some of them have a large number of collateral responsibilities, it starts to take away from their day job, what they're really asked to do in terms of overseeing operations services to the community. So we're recommending the creation of an administrative sergeant, take away some of those responsibilities relating to traffic, community services, the homeless outreach team, and other kinds of administrative support. And that way you have somebody who's really trained to do those kinds of things as well. Outside of patrol, looking at support services, first of all, investigations. You'll see in the report, there is an extensive workload analysis here where we broke down every type of crime that is investigated by your detectives and develop workload estimates for each type of crime, because each one has a different kind of workload characteristics. And we divide into that the number of workload hours available for your detectives, and you've got a deficit. And the result of that is that either cases don't get investigated as thoroughly as they could, especially things that may not have the solvability potential as others, or they're having to screen out minor things. So those aren't desirable things for the community, either of those things. So we're recommending the addition of 2 detectives to do that, plus a lieutenant for management oversight. For school resources, we're recommending another school resources officer, and there are standards out there based on the number of schools that are being liaised with and the number of students. And given that, you have need for another school resources officer. Communications and records. So communications is a problem in most communities that have dispatch centers. And the reason is that it's a high stress job and there's a lot of turnover associated with it, a lot of vacancies. And the way most communities, yours included, have dealt with that is with the few number of dispatchers you have, they have to work more overtime, including mandated overtime, which overtime has an impact on creating more turnover because it's taking the stressful situation worse. So we're recommending more dispatchers in order to better meet that need, recognizing that you'll still have vacant positions, but to be able to better address that and reduce the amount of overtime required. We think that in the long term, you should look at regional options. Many regions are doing that. In this region as well, both Western San Bernardino County and Eastern Los Angeles County have a history of doing joint dispatching, and it lends itself to that. It not only has cost savings, but it addresses some of those issues that can be addressed through economies of scale. Records needs an additional staff person due to workloads and the ability to cover the times of the week that you are able to cover that, because you really only got one person. Organizational issues. So I mentioned before that the collateral assignment is limiting in terms of what supervisors and managers are able to do. You've got a situation where you're very leanly managed in the top management structure within the department at present. It's been different in the past with a chief, captain, and lieutenant. We're recommending the elevation of the lieutenant on the support side to captain, both as a career enhancement move to get more training and more experience toward the manager of the department, and recognizing that those myriad of things that represent on the support side are just as important as the operations side as well. We think that the departmental support at that level should be increased with another analyst to support the chief, top management, and the department all. Long-term and through negotiation, we're recommending that the corporal position should be phased out so that there is police officers, sergeants. And that's I think, a trend in law enforcement, especially in small. So, I want to talk about projection methodology briefly. So, we work with your city planners to understand key issues that are going to impact police staffing. You have the issue of the Metro stop, and that was a special consideration as part of that, that we needed to look at the implications of that. And we do this quite a bit. It's interesting that, I've been doing this a long time too. And, until about 2020, no one was interested really in projection. But now everybody's interested in projection. So we've developed a pretty sophisticated, I think, system of looking at modeling your experience in terms of calls and things like that and crime in existing areas and with development and things like the Metro stop, modeling your future potential experience against the experience in the past. And you build a department of the future around that. And so that's what we've done here. And we've looked at some of the things like patrol investigations can be directly workload-based kinds of analysis. Other things are kind of relationships of one thing to another, like records to sworn staff. Spans of control for supervisors and managers are another consideration. Some things are not scalable. You typically only have one police chief. But that's the way we looked at the department overall. So the Metro Transit impact was a special concern. The result was kind of a surprise to us. The way we looked at that, we have access to information because we've worked with the Los Angeles Police Department to look at the experience of 40 metros in the Metro system. And we're able to use that experience against the area where your Metro stop is going to be and future development around that, like multi-housing, things like that, potentially. And to come to the conclusion, based on all of that, that the impact won't be that great. Maybe about a few calls a day, something like at most a couple hundred calls a year. And that what is really going to drive it is the potential impacts of the development around those metro stations, because more people, more problems, and things like that. So we've incorporated that into there, but its impact was not great. And it wasn't great in the other 40 metro stops that we looked at, although it varied like crazy. And that's not that big a sample to be able to work with. So we looked at population increases, and this is basically using your data to look at between the two halves of the city. The population is going to basically grow over the next 10 years by a little over 9%. Looking at the relationship again of existing crime to existing population, existing calls for service to existing population, and projecting with what we know about development in the next 10 years, although of course that can change, that part one crime, major crime, and calls for service will grow a little bit faster than that, a little bit because of Metro, but because of things that aren't residentially population based, like increased commercial development. That. So a little bit more than 10% in terms of crime and calls. What that will mean in terms of staffing is interesting, because what I described in the first part of this conversation is some pretty major needs in the existing department. Not so much from the direct service units or functions like patrol, traffic investigations, things like that, but really in the supportive functions to them, dispatch, the homeless outreach team, records, the SRO, those kinds of things are where the need is. And this is common in smaller police departments today. I think it's been a trend ever since the recession of 2009, 2010, around there, that we've been able to add direct service people, police officers and patrol and detectives, but we've really let support functions, professional staff, civilianized functions, and support functions not get the focus or the priority. So the analysis that comes together in the report that we've given you shows that the difference between current sworn staffing and recommended sworn staffing is 12 positions. And the difference between current professional staff, non-sworn staff, and recommended is 6. But after that, over the next 10 years, given what we know about development and the projections we develop, it's not that great. It's a number 4. It's about 4 positions on the sworn side, over the next 10 years and a couple of non-sports. So the deficiency is now. And then that will form a basis for the department in the next few years. Facility issues, just quickly, we looked at that. So this is really a space planning effort. We're not architects, but we do space planning in terms of building facilities around people and the functions within a police department. So we looked at the public safety facility. I'm not telling you anything you don't know here. It's small. It can't be expanded. It has limited functionality. So the analysis that we did was take those projections that we did and build separate police and fire buildings around them. Police facility would be about 49,000 square feet. That would meet your needs for the next couple of decades. Fire facility for central administration and support functions, about 18,000 feet. And then additional space would be for parking, etc. So that, in a very big nutshell, is the report we developed for you. And I'd like to answer any questions you may have.
Council, any questions before we go to public comment? We're gonna go to public comment, then we'll come back. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're gonna go ahead and open up public comment on this item. Anybody wish to come up and speak? Debbie, you can leave. Okay, you gotta go. He's on Zoom right now for this. Oh, we're waiting. Okay, we've got somebody on Zoom that's going to pop on here. In the meantime, anybody wish to come to the mic and speak on this item? That would be no. We'll wait for Danita. She's on right there.
I have a question, a comment while they wait there.
Sure, go ahead.
I just thought the one main interesting one was the metro impact. You know, our residents just keeps coming up and just fearful of what the goal line, the A line, the L line, whatever they're going to call it today,
Be the A line.
and what it's going to bring to our city, and that we're not prepared for it because we don't have it. But your comments and your statement is that it's not going to be that impact of what the fear is. From your studies.
Yeah, well, I think this is one of these Archimedes moments in consulting, the Excelsior moments, where it's not just our guess, but when we're able to look at the experience of other metro stops in your county, really helps provide support for a conclusion. So experience in the future may not be the same as experience in the past. So it's important that you look at this every year.
So I have a follow-up question along those lines because I caught that as well. I think the notation stated it's not that it's due to the development in the area, not due to transit itself.
Right.
What I'd like to see is the data on comparing like intersections or like stations, because the one that was on display was Sunset and Vine. We're not Sunset and Vine. Coming from a girl who used to manage bands out in Hollywood, we're not Sunset and Vine. Far cry. So I would be interested if it was available to do a comparison that's actually more accurate, looking at the development that is either in the city of Laverne or likely to be in the city of Laverne. What does that look like for at a station that has a similar, composition?
Sure.
So,
and we can get back to you on that. But there is a graph in that. It shows the results of the analysis of
I
all
would be
the
interested.
stations that we looked at.
Yeah.
And so we can cherry pick the ones that are somewhat comparable.
Well, I'd be interested in that, and I'd like to know what that would say in influencing your recommendations for staffing and utilization of our police.
It did, yeah.
Okay.
Well, then I thought also as to just kind of chair on top of this one here, as far as the fact that some of these stations, as for instance, the end of the line right now in Azusa, that would be probably one that that's a tough one because of the fact it's the end of the line. So that's where all of the offset, whether it be homeless or the people end. But you get the interior city stations, right around the center of the heart by Grand Central Station and all those.
Right.
That's a real complex area because if you have such a different makeup of individuals. But if you get your Pasadena station, your Azusa station, your Monrovia Station, your Arcadia Station. I think that's the matrix that we're looking at, but it is something to be considered. But I was surprised by this, the sphere of actual call where you have the initial sphere around the station, then you really have the outside, but still we're going to need police for that area.
Yeah.
Well,
Laura Johnson.
and I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just, and I'd be curious just because we're at a place where we're by a university. So the transit that we're also anticipating is students being able to come to school. And that's a different demographic than maybe perhaps someone coming to work in a commercial building or, the amenities that might be attendant in those areas. So what does that look like? And it's not going to, like you said, things will change year to year, but I'd be more interested in looking at apples to apples.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just thinking,
Danita's on, guys, if we want to get Danita on here.
Yeah, she can
I
wait.
think we should pull Danita if that's okay.
That's fine.
We didn't
Yeah,
come back
she
to,
can
and
wait.
then Cash.
What I
Ms.
was
Beauchamp.
saying was that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You want to?
I think we should get Danita on. We were on
Okay, well-
public comment, and then you can go ahead and after we're done with that, it's only one person on public comment. Just hold your.
I'll
thought
wait.
Hold your.
I'm waiting very patiently for Dina. Yes, thank you.
Hold
I'll
your
find
comment,
it for
not
you.
your tongue. Ms. Beauchamp, you're muted. There you go. I think we got you. Hello? Yeah, it's on a mic, but we haven't done this in a while.
Someone
Well, there's one way to do it on a cell phone with a speaker if we want to really be. Yeah, I got that. Here, now let's go ahead. Cash, you had a
Thank you.
comment. Yes.
Yeah, here we go. Back to that again.
Oh, wait. No, go ahead.
But wait, there's more. Huh. I just wanted to see the comparisons like to my colleague as she was saying some of the cities, which I'd like to know more about Sunset and Vine. That's a later conversation. But I wanted to know about, this city like Azusa, their stop that they have. They have the APU near there. They have the area with Target and pretty much is smaller city, similar to ours, capacity is same as the police department. Just to kind of see the comparables, at least with that. Maybe even Monrovia as well.
Yeah, I think that would be good. So I think in that big table where we showed all 40, or then we just threw a lot of data to, I think if something extracts from that, some of the
Absolutely.
comparable stops that might be better.
Well, and I think too, the fact that the terminus is in Azusa right now, the fact is that the terminus is going to be Pomona, but it's not that far away.
Right.
So we'll have and there was a reason why we put it in Pomona is to connect to Claremont and Montclair. But I think that matrix needs to be shown because I know we're going to need more police presence because of what's going on. And the county supervisors right now, along with the mayor, along with everybody, are finally realizing that there's a serious issue. It needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed on their dime, not necessarily on our dime. But we're going to have to watch the stations anyway.
Right.
But that's coming to fruition right now because there's been an egregious amount of horrific incidents on the A line and any of the stations, especially downtown, and even closer by that are really serious. So I'm going to bring Danita on, guys, if that's okay. Yeah, I got her here. No, please.
Hello, Mayor, Pro Tem, and Council.
You're on the phone and you got a speaker, so go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and Council. Mr. Crosby brought up the exact question that I wanted to ask was, of these numbers, are there any anticipation of what will be needed to facilitate the safety at the metro station, as well as the downtown area as the walkway and lighting will lead them into the Monero Square area of the city? And with that said, also, what part of that equation that he provided in terms of needing more supportive personnel is for host program and cares and facilitating homelessness? Thank you.
Thank you, Danita.
So yes, we did take that into consideration. So remember that the population will be growing about 9% over this period. And we've said that crime and our projections say that crime and calls for service will increase by about a little over 11%. That's over 1,000 calls a year that have to be handled. But I mean, we don't have a wizard's hat or anything. You do need to monitor this every year and translate your experience into future needs. But with the data that we have now, that's what we've come up with. On the homeless issue, very much agree that this is a significant need for the city. And that has some intersect, obviously, with the metro issue as well. And so that's two-person teams to be dedicated to a specific issue in the community.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak on this item? We'll go ahead and close public comment. Councilmember Crosby.
Another question. On the slide where you had the proactive being very green, meaning our officers are really being able to go out and instead of being a reactionary force, being proaction, which is amazing. But then your recommendation of staff is like needing 12 more from what our current staffing is. That part, it didn't correlate with me. So I just, can you help me
one
out?
in patrol? It's the other functions. It's
Okay.
4 in the homeless outreach. It's the administrative sergeant. That 12 was all sworn in that projection period between current and recommended levels.
That's why I
Yeah.
didn't correlate with me. I'm like, you.
Yeah.
And our officers do an amazing job. But yeah, the need of support behind the scenes then.
Definitely.
Councilmember Cash.
I was just thank you for the report, and I look forward to hearing what the chief has to say later on down line to see what we can do to help strengthen that. One last question I had, I was looking to see, was this broken down into the different areas? Like, was it beat 1, 2, and 3? Maybe somebody could correct me. Still 3 beat, right? All right, cool. I just didn't see if that was any incidences of certain areas of crime or response time based on the certain areas.
We didn't put much of that in the report because it was mostly center versus the outside.
Got it.
We can provide that.
Thank you. That's all.
Councilmember Lowe.
Yeah, other than my comment about the metro station, thank you for putting this report together. I appreciate it. I think it's going to give us some insights into what our next step should be. So that's very helpful. And I look forward to speaking with Chief about some ideas and some thoughts that he might have, and maybe we can bandy about some ideas about what we can do to address these issues. So thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Johnson.
Well, I appreciate this report. There's a lot of information in here to go through. And we'll be going through it for quite some time, I'm sure. At least within my own district, being close to the metro station, it's going to be kind of a wait and see thing. And it's going to be interesting. We always talk about the end of the line, and Laverne's not the end of the line. It's going to be Pomona. They're going to open up at the same time.
Right.
So
very close proximity.
Yeah, very close proximity. And we have residents in my district that are very close, half a block to the station. So yeah, we're going to have to keep a close eye on.
Yeah.
I want to thank you. I really appreciate that. And I think we have to step back a little bit now, because we did this with our fire department, and we had a lot of focus on our fire department over the number of years to get them where they are right now. And I think it's time now that we work with our chief, with our city manager, council. And I see things in there that are very concerning to me as far as the employees' comments on certain aspects, whether it be coverage, whether it be proper supervision. I take that seriously, because that's function. We've had, an acting chief for some time now. We have permanent chief with Chief Gonzalez, and I think we need to move forward. And we've always said that we need more officers, but we also need more of the homeless outreach, which is very important. We do an amazing job, but we're tapping our resources with our sworn officers, which makes it very difficult. So I really do appreciate your input on that. But really the fact that our service level, the station was very important, but also the responses from our employees are extremely important to me and our council too, that we do appreciate everything that our police department, our service, all our personnel do. We do a lot on a very limited amount of individuals that are out there, the men and women that service the police department and all the staff. An amazing job on a very, very tight budget, but we need to look at that to see how we can expand that. We need to focus a little more on this now. We've got this study done. We did, like I said, we did our fire study. Very important that we need to really focus on this now. So, and I do appreciate you were very thorough. I would appreciate more information like on the station matrix, because that's coming. The gold line is going to be active and testing probably mid-year next year. And then it becomes active after that, late 2025. So we're at the precipice of this happening. And it's going to come, hopefully, like I say, County of Los Angeles and Metro gets off the dime and figures out how to take care of this. But again, this was very good. We've got a lot of work to do. I want to make sure, and I can speak for entirety, that we appreciate our police department as we do all our departments. We appreciate what you guys, what you women and men do in the field for us, because you do have an amazing amount of love in the community for what you guys and ladies do. It's they really appreciate the services that we provide. It's just that we need to hunker down now and figure out how to make sure that as we move forward, we build it and make sure we have enough staff to do what we need to protect our citizens and not only that, protect yourselves as employees. So with that, this is a receive and file. Is that correct? Did Chief, did you want to come up and say anything else, or? Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I just wanted to conclude with I appreciate all the sentiments by City Council, and we're all, there's still a good amount of group here, police officers that are here that wanted to hear this report, but I do appreciate the sentiments, some of the questions that were posed as far as what types of crimes and where they're happening. I'd meet any of you, for coffee and kind of go over those statistics to kind of project that. And you should know that prior to this study, we had conducted an analysis from Azusa and some of the other areas, some of the stations where we saw a projection of calls that were increasing. Of course, this is a third-party view into that, so we're respective of their view in that. But we also took a look at that and saw a slight increase where it would necessitate additional staffing in the recommendation of the 2 officers day and night. That is something that we would, take in. But additional staffing is something that we're working and striving towards. Some of the tough things that we're dealing with right now is recruitment and finding qualified people. And as I mentioned several times here, is that we have not lowered our standard, and nor will we. We are taking the best, and that's what we want for our residents. So with that, like I mentioned earlier, I'll be working with the City Manager Domer and bringing forward a plan to bring staffing forward. Of course, working with finance to make sure that we can do it and make it all work. So thank you.
Well, I think it was loud and clear. It's the fact that we need to make sure that we gradually increase our troops, make sure we put more boots on the ground, make sure we have the right equipment, as we've always stated. Same as the fire department, same as public works, same as the police department. Make sure you got the right equipment to keep our employees safe, to keep our residents safe. So I think I'll speak again for all of us that we've always told you, whatever you need, we'll work it out between Christy and Ken and the council here. We'll do our best to assist you in any way we can.
No, thank you very much. And I tell Mr. Domer all the time that I appreciate the work thus far that we've done over the last almost a year and a half with Christy as well to improve in every function that we can. So
now I was going to say the consultant, I would wish he would have brought a $220 million check. We could have that. We could have that 70,000 square foot police and fire, Yeah. But maybe next time.
That is something that I'd also like to emphasize is they also conducted a study into the size of our building. We've outgrown it. We're bursting at the seams. Although we'd like to hire all these people, I just have nowhere to put them. And as mentioned, even in records, if we were to increase the size of our records, there is not another broom closet or anywhere to put anyone. So
Well, that's one thing we didn't mention, and I will say that I know Mr. Domer's looking at it. We're looking at options, and I think it's important. We're gonna tap every elected official, high elected between the state and if we can, our federal partners to see what we can do to and our local partners with our university to see if we can, some way get these funds to build new facilities, because obviously we're grown out of our facilities. So that is another one of our focuses. It's going to take some time, but I think with the resources and our relationships, we can get that done.
most definitely, it's going to be a slow process, and it's got to be a balance. Simply because if the more people I bring in this small building, there's ADA requirements. There's several things that I have to look forward to make sure that we're not violating anyone's rights and so forth. So,
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it. With that, we will go to public comment.
Be a motion to
No,
receive and
oh,
file.
so need a motion to receive and file?
So move.
Second.
Vote, please. Oh,
That motion was approved 5-0.
very good. Thank you.
No.
Now we move to public comments and oral communications. This is the time set aside for anyone wishing to address the city council on items not listed on the agenda, but within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city council. I want to remind everyone that the Brown Act prohibits the city council from engaging in discussion on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. However, your concerns may be referred to staff and placed for discussion at a later date. There's a 3-minute time limit for comments. At this time, those wishing to make comments and present here in the chamber can come up to the podium. I do have a card for Sally A. Fillinger. I think just left. Okay. Then the dais is open for public comment.
So I'm working with the city of Chino on electrifying Chino. We have Volta here, but Volta is going to be taken over by Shell in the next coming months. So in LA, they have a lot of places where you can charge your vehicles through the power poles on the side of the roads. And I'm hoping that the city of Laverne would follow LA, and Ontario was doing it for a while too. But a company called ChargePoint is influencing them to charge their city members now. But I'm sure you know Volta here, like at Whole Foods, Amazon. Their model was to advertise on their screens, and the city of Chino was going to shut it down because of light pollution. But we've come to an agreement with them, and it's still going through. But they sold to Shell now, and more people are getting electric cars now. But it's starting to become more expensive to charge a car than to fuel it with gas now, because of a company called ChargePoint. So I know you can't answer me back right now, but I would like to put this on the agenda for the future so we could put together a team to electrify Laverne so that other cities can follow in their footsteps and then be on the forefront like Chino is working on right now.
Thank you. Appreciate that. If you don't mind, can you write your name and stuff and your contact information?
Sure.
Yeah, we can probably have staff contact you.
Mr. Mayor, on the electrical vehicle charging stations, we are working, in fact, I presented to this San Gabriel Valley City Manager Association about working with the COG as a group, because last year the city of Laverne did put in for Department of Transportation grant for electrical vehicle charging stations, did not get it whatsoever. What we have found is that we have to be, a sizable entity. So that's why we're looking at regional issues. So that's why the COG is taking the leadership to submit an application on behalf of the entire COG, and we're all
As an
getting
umbrella.
involved. As an umbrella, yes, and that's the best way. Though there also is a Tesla station that should be open within a couple weeks.
Mr. D's.
At Mr. D's. And even though I can't use that right now, but I do appreciate those who have a Tesla. You have to.
Yeah, please come up to the podium.
So with ChargePoint doing what they're doing in Ontario, Tesla stepped up, and even though they have superchargers outside the Ovid family library, they also have level 2 chargers inside that structure too. So Tesla is willing to follow in the footsteps that Volta did, that companies like ChargePoint and other EVgo won't do. And there's plenty of grants out there that can be obtained by the Biden administration.
Thank you very much. Anyone else wish to speak on public comment? We're gonna go ahead and close public comment, bring it up to the dais. Councilmember Lau.
So I just wanted to report out, Laverne Day at the Fair was on May 10th, which is Chief Sam Gonzalez's birthday. So he really loved us all singing yet again in public. But I mention it because this is the last weekend of the fair. So if you haven't had the opportunity to go, Memorial Day weekend is the last weekend of it. And so as I indicated before, it's also graduation weekend and we have all these other things happening in and around town. So just to be cognizant of that as you're moving about. So there's a lot of things going on this weekend. I also wanted to just expand a little bit. You know, we did the AAPI presentation to the folks at the University of Laverne to recognize their efforts. And I just wanted to share for those of you, and I know there's quite a few Laverne grads in here, some I went to school with, but it is really a great institution. They really do some amazing things for our students. And if you don't know about the population that we serve, we do serve a lot of first generation students, a lot of students that don't come from families that can provide necessarily all the financial support, all the emotional support, all the things that you need to be successful. And so the people that came today are just a small representation of the folks who work at the university and really help build and develop young people to be contributing members of society, many of whom now teach at Bonita or other schools within our district that own businesses here. So if you ever get a chance and you've never been to the university, stop by. There are some really cool people there. So I just wanted to give that shout out. I also just wanted to give a quick shout out to Sergeant Jay Alvarado, who over this past weekend earned his master's in law enforcement and public safety leadership from the University of San Diego. I will still call him a Leo because that's where he went, the University of Laverne, before you went to USD. But that's quite an accomplishment. So if you get a chance, say your congratulations to Jay as well. So other than that, you know, like I said, we've got a lot of events coming up this year at the end of the year. So have fun, take the time to enjoy time with family, celebrate milestones, all of that good stuff. And as always, be kind and have a great week.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Crosby.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple things. After the May 6th meeting, we were talking about traffic and parking. Foothill Transit met with Mr. Domer and Ms. McWade and myself on Wednesday right away and talked about after the bus stop rerouting their buses to move them farther down so that we could have some more parking in front of the library as well. So they immediately, after reaching out to them, they immediately stepped up and came out there and walked it with us. And so we're showing them. Memorial Day celebration is 11 o'clock at the Veterans Hall. Hopefully we see everyone out there and really celebrating our veterans and really remembering what this holiday is really there for, to just really remember those who put their lives
11 a.m.
for us.
11 a.m.
Yes.
Yep, 11 a.m.
And then my last one is really to Mr. Domer. We have really a lot of talk about the Lutheran High School property and park space. In District 2, there is there's little that they're putting into zero park space east of Fruit and north of Foothill, where we really need to look about that. That is our open area and maybe some park space there. And I know that the developers have not come to the city about their program or what they want to develop yet, but we should really think about that land and really looking for park space too. So please keep that in mind before it comes back to us. And after that, that's all my comments.
Thank you, Councilmember Crosby. Councilmember Cash.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to just have my closing comments in remembrance of those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country, that are Laverne residents. And I want to leave this time to remember their names, as we, as a veteran and we as a community, we never forget. And so for those that have paid their ultimate sacrifices, the MIA and the POWs. First is from Vietnam, MIA, Lieutenant Colonel James Richard McElvin, the 430th Tactical Fighter Squadron, 474th Tactical Fighter Wing. I look forward to welcoming you home. Operation Iraqi Freedom, Private First Class Corey Hiltz, 2nd Battalion, 12th Infantry Regiment, 2nd Brigade Combat Team. We never forget. Private First Class Jose Oscar Belmontes, 630th Engineer Company, 7th Engineer Battalion, 10th Sustainment Brigade, Afghanistan. We never forget. The family that used to own the Nikuni Japanese restaurant, the Kim family, they had their son. It was Private First Class Jang Ho Kim, the 1st Battalion, 26th Infantry Regiment, 2nd Brigade Combat Team. We never forget. So thank you. I appreciate it, Don.
Thank you, Councilman Prakash. Mayor Pro Tem Johnson.
And how do you follow that?
Yeah.
One more item on the gold line. We've got notice that the gold line is going to be grinding the train tracks, creating a lot of noise.
They make it for the final for the trains to run on them, so they have to grind them down. It's starting.
It's starting. Yeah.
Ready.
So be prepared for that for the next 2-3 weeks. That being said, I really don't have anything else to add.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Johnson. Last week, it was Grace Miller. We had Grace Miller Elementary here they're studying their government, and they came into the chambers. Development Director Shear was in here. They did a mock city council meeting, and then our police department, our public works department, our fire department, they had the Bearcat, they had the fire trucks. And I will say, I'm sorry, police and fire, but the sewer monitoring vehicle was the most popular because the Public Works Department had not the Ninja Turtles on the screen. So they were in the sewers because that's where they live. So they absolutely loved it. But it was just wonderful to see them. They came and it was cute. It was really cute. But they loved everything. The Bearcat, they loved everything. Loved the fire truck. So I thank staff for that. And they were amazing. And the kids had an amazing time. So thank you to all that was participated in that. Also, I want to say that we had 2 birthdays this last Saturday, May 18th, if I'm not correct. That would be Christy Lopez and JR on Friday the 17th. So we have to sing happy birthday. So on 3, JR, he's hearing, he's listening to us. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Christy JR. Happy birthday to you.
How many shades of red is she turning? Okay, with that, we've got a lot of stuff coming. Graduations are coming. So again, be careful out there on the streets. Please watch the kids. Also, I would like to ask, I would like to make Mr. Domer, is that we bring an item to the City Council about supporting the Proposition 47 reform initiative that I believe has qualified for the ballot. This is important for the city to take a stance on. I believe that the majority of our residents support amending Prop 47 to strengthen our criminal statutes. If you could please put that on there. We're good. With that, I want to thank everybody for their comments. Our next regular Laverne City Council meeting is on Monday, June 3rd, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. As a reminder, upcoming events and meetings are posted on the last page of the agenda. Appreciate it, and thank you all for coming tonight. We will adjourn at 8:52 p.m. Thank you.